Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play one of my favourite Irish jigs, the Cliffs of Moher. The Cliffs of Moher are sea cliffs on the west coast of Clare, which are over 200 metres in height at their maximum. And this jig is one of my favourites. It's in A Dorian, which means that most of the sixths are sharp. Although that's not strictly true the whole time. I'm going to give you two versions, a simple version and a version based mostly on the playing of Kevin Burke. So let's look at the simple version, and with a couple of exceptions you can do all of this with separate bows. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just referring back to the bowing, most of the bars have an even number of notes. So that has 4, has 6, but the bar 3 has 5 notes. And when you've got an odd number, then if you want to start every bar on a down bow, then you've got to slur something. So each time we get, then I'm going to slur that. And that kind of thing I'm going to slur, but all of the rest of it can be separate. And the key thing to bowing jigs, which I've demonstrated many times before, is that you don't play it as it's written. So what's written is that, and if you find yourself doing that, there's no shame in that, assuming you haven't done this before, because that's what's written down. But what you've got to do is really short bows, not big long bows, and dat and do dat and do dat, with the second of each 3 almost disappearing. Dat do dat and do. So if you've never done it before, try practicing this a few times. Notice almost all of the action is coming from the wrist, not from the arm. You definitely don't want that. Maximum length is about an inch, and the second note is as short, literally, as it can be. And if that note becomes completely inaudible, that's fine. So long as you're fingering it, your ear will hear it, even if you're not actually playing it. So I'll just play the A section again. That's the feel that you're aiming for. I mentioned about the Fs. It's mostly played like that. When it comes to the B the last line, I think instead of doing that, most people will actually do an F natural. So we call this thing Dorian, but there's absolutely no reason why a tune has to follow the mode that it's put into. And I think most people prefer an F natural. And if you wanted, then you could put a neutral note, which is neither sharp nor natural. And that's a bold thing to do and sometimes really satisfactory. Okay, now let's have a look at the ornamentation. There's a couple of versions by Kevin Burke. One is on his album If the Cap Fits, which he did in the 70s and was one of my favourites. That I think I learnt almost every note of this at that time. And he also has a more recent tuition video on YouTube where you can actually watch what he's doing. One of the things you see that he does, he starts every A section on an up bow, and this is very common with Kevin Burke. And it's something I do quite a lot, starting a jig on an up bow. He doesn't actually do it consistently. Quite a lot of his phrases start on a down. So it's not as if he's dogmatic about it. That's just the way he approaches it. We've got a slide at the beginning. Not a big slide, but starting about a semitone below and just kind of easing into the note. Here we got what's called a double cut. So we're going from to there via a flick of the third and second fingers, and it's all in one bow. And we're replacing that with a triplet. So these are rolls. You can do them as full rolls like that, or you could something like that. A roll doesn't have to be all of the notes that are expected. Doesn't have to be that, because you do it so lightly and so quickly that you're not supposed to really be able to hear exactly what's going on. And we got this little drone at the end. Let's do all of that A section. 3, 4. Then we've got, so, flick of the first, third and first. So this is a kind of a triplet roll. And I'm doing it with an F sharp. A roll on that third finger. This is a triplet ascending. So we got the F natural, a roll on the third, on the second, on the first. Let's just do all of that B section. Now, if you're familiar with the If the Cap Fits version, he shortens the final bar by half. So he goes. So rather than doing that, it's, which is quite fun, but you've got to know that your accompanists know that is going to happen. If you're doing this at a session, it's good to know in advance, or just to play quietly when that's happening, in case it's not happening. Okay, let me play. I'll play once through slowly with the backing with these variations. And a final word, the ornaments are up to you to choose which you like. And the more you know about ornaments, the more you will vary them. So if you were playing this twice, you wouldn't ideally play the same ornaments in the same place. I did a video on ornamentation, discussing kind of what it's about, where these ornaments come from, how you choose them, and all that kind of thing, which you may find useful. Anyway, if you'd like a copy of the sheet music for this, both the simple version and the ornamented version, do subscribe to the channel, send me an email, I will send you a copy. And if you would like to help keep these videos coming and get hold of loads of resources which are available nowhere else, then do please consider joining me on Patreon. Thanks for watching. I will play you out with 3 times round, up to speed, and with some more variations. See you again soon.